Hello there, welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you're a recurring viewer. So there's definitely been a little bit of a break, but we will just kind of skip past that. Anyways, I am very excited because I haven't been on YouTube really in a pretty long time, and upon coming back, which was actually just yesterday, I saw that like my video, actually one of my videos, has been getting quite a bit of views, which is like really crazy. I didn't really think it was like that interesting, but it's pretty cool to see that like 700 plus people have viewed it. So that's really insane, and I'm so excited. And yeah, so I thought I would just share another build. It's not that I'm waiting for views to share builds, I just haven't had time to really to build. And yeah, so this one, I don't remember actually when I did this. I think I did it maybe a couple weeks ago, but I just hadn't recorded a voiceover yet. And yeah, I think it probably was like 2 weeks ago or something like that. But we are just building a tiny little cabin, and yes, if you've watched the previous video, I have yet to finish that. I believe it's called like Spanish Opulence or something, and yeah, it's such a ginormous build that it's just taking me so long to do. And also, because it's so big, I don't really have the motivation to furnish it or do anything really to it. So I did boot up my game and I did go into that build again, and then I think I just did really the generic layout of the downstairs, and that was it. I just couldn't. It was so overwhelming. It was so large. It's definitely like one of the largest builds I think I've ever done before, because it's also on a 64 by 64 lot. So there's that. Anyways, so now we're going the complete opposite, and well, it's the complete opposite would be like a tiny home, but this is actually just a small little home. Yeah, just a tiny, sorry. It's called Cozy Cabin. So it's not a tiny home, but it is definitely small. It's only 1 bedroom, 1 bath, but I think this is so cute. I would love to stay in a little tiny home like this as a nice like vacation home. Cuz I don't know, I've never actually been to like a cabin like in, yeah, like as a resort home. Not a resort home, sorry. As a like vacation home or anything like that. But it's always been my dream to go like skiing and then stay in a tiny little cabin like this. I've gone skiing and then like, I don't know, it's attached to like a cabiny looking like hotel, so it's like ginormous. But the mountain lodge kind of looks like this, if that's any consolation. But yeah, so it's really cute. It's only like a 1 bedroom, and it's actually not even really a bedroom, because it doesn't actually have a wall that closes the bedroom. I liked that because it was so small. I really wanted to keep the inside very open, and I know we're not going into the interior yet, but just keep in mind like it's very open inside. And yeah, so the only room is the bathroom, which of course, you know, that's probably a must because of privacy, but the rest of the home is pretty open. And yeah, I really like it. It's cute and it's quaint. And yeah, that gate was so weird. So you can freely place objects by holding, oh gosh, control, I think. I don't remember. Like, the thing is, I can remember it like if my hand is on the keyboard, but I can't remember it like verbally. It's more of like physically, like, you know, you know what key to press, but yeah. Anyways, that gate was moving like freely on its own. You didn't have to press like the freely placing object key, which was weird. It's like the only item I've come across that does that. So, random. Anyways, so here's the inside, and like I said, I knew that section that jutted out was going to be the bedroom, but I also knew that I didn't want it to actually go in its own room, so that's why it's kind of open, and that little tiny 2x3 tile room, that is going to be the bathroom. So yeah, it's very small on the inside, very cute, and I like it a lot. And I was definitely struggling with like cabinets. I don't like a lot of the cabinets. I wish we had like just really simple but super modern like cabinets. Not super modern, but like, I don't know, just simple and clean and like minimalistic, I guess. Sorry, my voice is not happening. And I know it's not happening too because it's so cold outside. Well, to be honest, where I'm like from Chicago, it's actually like negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit. So here in New York, it's actually only 20. It's crazy that it's a 40-degree Fahrenheit difference. Yeah, that's gonna be really insane. And I'm also going back, I think, next weekend, and I really hope the temperature warms up. But anyways, you guys probably don't care about weather, and you know it's definitely a bad sign if people start talking about weather. But I mean, in this case, it's sort of I don't know, flowed into this conversation. Anyways, so going back to the build, yes, I did include 2 stoves. Probably not the best idea I should have done, because it's kind of stupid, because you know you're definitely only going to use 1 stove, but I always like the idea of like a double stove, like a really extra large stove. And yeah, so it also like fit because it was like in the middle, because if I was to do a single stove in the middle, like the cabinetry would just be all off. So I just sort of dealt with it. Anyways, you can download it and then change it up if you want. So there's that. And yeah, so we do manage to fit like a little dining nook as well as a living room. I will say the living room's maybe a little bit more cramped, but I think it's nice. I like it. I think the flow of this house like really goes well. I like the way that you kind of like move throughout the house, and how there's no like real kind of structural walls or anything like that, besides the bathroom, of course. And yeah, I also decided to put the stone kind of wallpaper, or in like stone walls, for the bedroom section. And yeah, because the bedroom section is also interesting too, because on not every single side, but on 3 sides there's windows. So these kind of homes, I kind of imagined that they would go nicely in like an alpine, snowy environment. So it's definitely really cold. And you know, insulation probably won't be good a room won't be really good if you have like 3 walls aligned with windows. So I decided to make it stone just so it feels more like insulated. So yeah, anyways, that's my reasoning. Hopefully it sort of made sense. And yeah, I do have seasons at this point, but you know what I should have done? I should have put it in winter. But also, maybe I shouldn't have put it in winter, because I think the lighting gets like really dark, as you know it does in the real world. Like, I don't know, where I'm currently at, we get like barely any sunlight. It's crazy. I come home and it's like dark outside. Not great. And then it just makes me want to sleep. And I don't feel like productive when I get home at all. I just want to like eat and watch TV and like go to sleep. And yeah. Also, something that I haven't addressed is the lack of lighting. I know it's really dark. Usually I do put lighting around before I start furnishing, or just basically doing anything. I don't know why, I just completely forgot, so sorry if it's really dark. Lighting will come eventually, and hopefully, because it's not too dark and dingy right now, it doesn't deter you. But we will get light. Light will be had soon. And yeah. Another thing that I wanted to, you know what, I might go back. I don't know. It's hard. It's difficult. You guys don't even know what I'm saying yet. Basically, I want to adjust the terrain, because ideally, like in my mind when I was designing this, the house would be kind of placed on uneven terrain. So it would just be like sloping down the terrain. So when you get to like the back of the house, it would just be like overhanging the terrain a little bit. I just imagined it to be a little bit more on an uneven terrain lot. The problem that I see in The Sims is that all the lots are like super flat. So if you do have terrain changes, you kind of have to smooth it out at the edge of the lot, and it just makes it a little bit weird. Like, it doesn't naturally flow to the terrain, so it becomes like really difficult to actually adjust, the terrain, because it just looks weird if you have like a dip or like a mountain in the middle of your lot, and it doesn't look like natural. So that's a thing that I guess that was hindering me from doing that, just because it wouldn't look like natural. And yeah, so it still is on a flat lot. I would have liked it if it was, on an uneven terrain, but whatever. Anyways, so we are getting to the lighting, and now you can definitely see everything. It's very brown, I do know that, but I kind of always imagine these little like cabins to be very brown. But you know what? It's not dingy either. Like, I don't know, it's something about, I like it. It's cozy. The title really says it all. Cozy cabin. There we go. And I loved that dresser too. I thought it fit really well into this home. It was sort of like vintage, a little bit distressed, and it's just great. I'm really into these like not tiny homes. You know what I like to do? I like to furnish just small homes. Those are the ones that I like to do. I think I'm a little bit too like overzealous when I try to make all these like mansion builds and stuff, and then I get tired, and then I feel like self-conscious because I feel like people can tell when I'm not like super into furnishing a giant massive mansion. But you know what? These are doable. This one only took me like, I really don't remember, but max like 2 hours, and I really liked it. It was cute. It was nice. It was a good time. I really enjoyed myself. I was listening to podcasts while I was doing this build, and I'm really into podcasts recently. They've been like super, super interesting. I've been watching a whole bunch of podcasts, or not watching, sorry. I've been listening to a whole bunch of podcasts. I recently got into Good Mythical Morning, so with that said, like Rhett and Link, I've been listening to Ear Biscuits, which is a really, really funny. Sometimes I listen to it at work, and I kind of like embarrass myself because I like start laughing out loud just in the middle of like the workplace, and it's really awkward. So I'll like try to hide it a little bit, but they're really funny. But I've actually like caught up. Not really caught up. I like the more recent ones where they are just kind of talking by themselves, but they're older ones or ones where they interview like other YouTubers or things like that. I actually just really enjoy the recent ones where they're just talking to each other about really random stuff. So yeah, I've been listening to those, and yeah, once they started to get to the interviewed like other YouTuber ones, I kind of stopped listening to those. But another podcast that I've been listening to is actually really funny. I wouldn't say I'm super into Greek mythology, but I just sort of had an interest, I guess, one day, and I started listening to, oh gosh, what is it called? Oh no, I'm forgetting the name of it. They have like a really cool intro song as well that is really funny. It's like a podcast about mythology, Greek mythology. Oh no, I'm completely blanking on the name, but it's super funny. I think the host names are like Paul Bianchi or something, and like Olivia. I want to say, I don't remember, but I think they're super funny. It's a really funny duo, and they just talk about like Greek mythology. Paul is super knowledgeable about Greek mythology, I guess because he just had an interest in it, and then he's teaching his co-host, I was gonna say co-worker, but his co-host and best friend, he's just talking about it, and she's sort of just listening and just being all of us and just super intrigued and super kind of not knowing anything about Greek mythology. But I think it's super funny. It is explicit, so beware of that. But I don't know. Yeah, just funny things. Anyways, so without that ramble on, let's continue to screenshots. Here are the screenshots, and we are just going around the build. Yeah, it's very landscaped around the house, but not so much like towards the exterior parts of the lots. So sorry for that. It's also placed in Brindleton Bay, I think, in the like little island. Maybe not the best place to put it, but I don't have Granite Falls, which I think would have fit much better. So if you do have Granite Falls, you can place it there and hopefully it looks all right. And yeah, so here are the more screenshots of the interior. I think it's cute. I think it's cozy. I would love to just vacation in a home like this. This is the like 1 bedroom, and we have all the angles, a lot of stone everywhere, but I love that. It's like stone and wood mixed together. We have the bathroom, which is a very awkward angle because of the smallness of it. And yeah, so a couple of screenshots at night, a tiny little front porch and back porch. And yeah, so thanks for watching, and hopefully I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.